Hello and welcome back to the channel. Steuben here, and today we're going to take a look at Zeraora VMAX paired up with the older Zeraora V, the Rapid Strike one from Chilling Reign, with some Urshifu and friends. I was definitely inspired by a list from Japan that I saw that won a locals, and again, Japanese locals are like huge in comparison to a lot of American ones. It's definitely something interesting and fun. I don't think this is like super competitively viable in our crazy Lost Box era format, but keep in mind that I will probably also upload another Zeraora deck in the next couple of days with the other V and the V-Star. So, just be able to see a few different ways of playing both cards. So yeah, we'll just start it off with the Zeraora VMAX. We're playing 2 copies of this. 320 HP with Reactive Pulse is the main attack we're going to use here. It does 60 times the amount of Pokemon your opponent has that has an ability. So, say for example in the Palkia matchup, if they have, 3 Pokemon with abilities, Palkia, Inteleon, and let's just say they have down a Lumineon or whatever, or even a Kyurem, you can hit them pretty hard, pretty quick, just for 2 energy. And so there's ways to get the energy in play as well. So yeah, we're rocking 2 copies of that VMAX, and we're playing 2 copies of the Rapid Strike Zeraora V. We do have Rapid Strike energy in this deck, but when you evolve, it's no longer a Rapid Strike Pokemon, so definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, 2 copies of the V here. With Cross Fist, if one of your other Rapid Strike Pokemon use an attack during your last turn, this attack also does 160 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So if you can get around Manaphy, for the most part, you'll be able to, take out double knockouts. 100 and 160 isn't that bad. And we're going to attempt to load in early on with Urshifu. So yeah, we'll rock the 2-2 line of Zeraora VMAX here. We're also playing a 2-2 copy of the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. We'll start with the V. 220 HP. We have Strafe for 30 and Switch. Pretty good here. And then we've got 100 Furious Billows for 2 fighting and a Colorless for 150. And the VMAX, 330 HP. We got Gale Thrust, 30 plus 120 more if you became the active this turn, and then Gmax, Rapid Flow, discard all energy, and hit 120 on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, just tons of pressure with Urshifu early on. If you hit any Arceus matchups, Urshifu is going to carry you. If you hit any Palkia matchups, Zeraora is going to carry you. So it's necessarily not, playing both into whatever. So like you can in some situations go from the VMAX into the V, and you can Gale Thrust or Rapid Flow into the Cross Fist, which is cool, but it's not necessarily always going to happen. Continuing on, we've got a single copy of Medicham V, specifically for the Yoga Loop here. You can put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if they knock it out, then you get to take an additional turn. You can't use Yoga Loop again. So yeah, tons of potential here. Being able to hit 100 and 160 and 120 and 120 wherever you need to. This can round out some KOs, especially later on too. We have a copy of Drapion V for Wild Style. This is to counter Mew. Is another threat. And also Zeraora VMAX is really good against Mew because their entire board, except for Mayaletta, if they play Mayaletta, has abilities. So you can just hit them super hard and super fast. So yeah, we've got that. So we can attack for free with Wild Style. It costs 1 colorless less for every Rapid Strike, Single Strike, or Fusion Strike Pokemon that your opponent has in play. And then also, you do 190 and you hurt yourself for 60, but whatever. 190 times 2 if you're hitting in the right stuff, it's pretty good. And also, even in some other matches, this is super good, against, especially against other Rapid Strike, or who's even playing Single Strike, honestly. Alright, so we've got a Manaphy for our Waveil to protect our bench. And then we're going to play the Inteleon line. I haven't played this in a hot minute. So we've got 4 copies of Sobble, 3 copies of Drizzile for Shady Dealings to be able to evolve and search for any trainer card you need. We've got 2 copies of Shady Dealings and Inteleon to search for 2 trainer cards. And we've got 1 copy of Quick Shooting to round out the damage output that we're doing and help get some cheeky KOs with that Quick Shooting to be able to put 2 damage counters down. So between, Quick Shooting and your spread, Medicham can happen, not often, but it can. Again, it's more of a reactive deck versus like a straightforward strategy. A lot of this, I feel like, came inspired by Tord, and again, I saw this from a Japanese tournament result and made a few minor changes to, you know, balance out with what I have access to and what we've got going on. So 4 copies of Sonya to start off the supporters. Search your deck for either 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy and put them in your hand. Really fills up your hand pretty quick. Get your Sobbles in play, get your Urshifus, whatever, or your energy, depending on how you want to break that down. We've got 2 copies of Raihan for our comeback. They take a KO. We can attach a basic energy from our discard pile to one of our Pokemon, and then search your deck for any card we need. So this really helps get the energy attachments onto Urshifu or Zeraora V or VMAX. We've got 1 copy of Birdkeeper for some switch and draw. Pretty straightforward. It also sets up our Gale Thrust really well. We've got 1 copy of Roxanne for some disruption late game. We've got a copy of Peonia to find pieces out of the prize cards. And we've got a copy of Cheryl to wipe off the damage from our evolution Pokemon. So, you know, it's really good against Lost Box if they're trying to set up a multiple prize KO. Once you evolved, you can just Cheryl away all the damage across all your board, and then, like, their Sableye turn might have just been a waste, potentially. Or it can, you know, lead into preventing a Sableye turn in the future. Last supporter, we've got a copy of Boss's Orders, just for our typical gusting effect. Pretty unique supporter line, mostly just these 1-ofs and then 2 Raihan and 4 Sonya. Again, I feel like there's some Tord inspiration here from the old days of him ripping it up with Urshifu, so we'll just continue on. Items, we've got 3 copies of Level Ball to be able to find our Manaphy, Drizzile, Sobbles. We've got 2 copies of Quick Ball for basic grabbing. Of course, we have the Sonya, so we don't necessarily need super amounts of Quick Ball. We've got 1 Ultra Ball to find an evolution piece if you need to, or whatever, and 2 copies of Evolution Incense. So between these items here and the Sonya, you're able to pretty much just grab your Pokemon as needed. Of course, Raihan can grab Pokemon, and Shady Dealings can grab whatever you need to get whatever going on. For energy, we have Energy Search to be able to grab additional copies. So again, definitely Tord inspiration here. We've got 4 copies of Scoop Up Net to be able to pick up and reuse and abuse the Inteleon line. Feels really good to do that. And then the last 2 items, we've got a copy of Choice Belt to increase our damage output by 30 onto opposing Pokemon V, V-Star, and VMAX. And we've got a copy of Big Parasol to prevent effects of attacks done to the Pokemon that's in the active and all of your bench. So if you can smell a Sableye turn, it's cool to like Gale Thrust and then slap a Parasol down and just protect everything. So they have to have like Boss or an Escape Rope or a Switch out there. Or even the Lost Vacuum at that point too, so keep that in mind. We are playing 2 copies of Tower of Waters to give all of our Rapid Strike Pokemon free retreat. So in that case, we've got the Medicham, the Urshifu line, the Zeraora Basic V, not the VMAX, and the Quick Shooting Inteleon and the Sobbles. So really good mobility in addition to, of course, the Birdkeeper and the Scoop Up Nets. Energy is a little bit weird. We're playing 2 copies of Rapid Strike Energy to fulfill either Basic Zeraora V, Medicham V, or Urshifu as attack cost. And then we're rocking 5 Basic Lightning Energy and 3 Basic Fighting Energy. Pretty weird energy counts, but it's just what they had going on. They had 6 and 2, so if you really want to, you could go to 6 Lightning and just 2 Fighting. Also, I stole my partner's Zeraora sleeves that are fighting Pikachu because it's it's a Zeraora deck. There's another set of Zeraora sleeves for the other Zeraora deck, so keep that in mind as well, that we'll have those ready to go. So yeah, if you want to see Zeraora V-Star get played, let me know down below what you think we'll end up going with. But this is the rough early draft of Urshifu Zeraora. It's a lot of fun so far. I've definitely enjoyed playing a couple pickup games with it. Probably rock this at a local pretty soon just to see how it goes. But yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Pokemon TCG content. If you made it this far in the video, let me know that you made it this far and you actually heard me say this. So I appreciate all the support. We're super close, if not already over 1,500 subs by the time this uploads. So super stoked. But yeah, check out all the links for everything down in the description below. And I'll see you guys whenever I see you with the next Zeraora deck. And then we'll move on to Deoxys. Take it easy.